Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. What's good with you? And it's your boy JB here on a Saturday. We've got some NFL preseason action here. The Bengals and the Bears, they're going to be squaring off here. And already we're going to get to see Caleb Williams here make his second preseason start here. And we're going to get to see a lot of the starters in this one, or at least, some meaningful snaps here in this one. So I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. But already Chicago here with the football. Let's see what Caleb Williams does here on 1st and 10 right now for the offense, starting off from their own 16-yard line. And so far, from what we've seen so far from Caleb in the preseason, he's looked good. Honestly, he's looked good. And let's see if that continues to be the theme today. Shotgun formation. Gets the snap, on the move, throws it, too high, incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. RC, what's good with you? We got RC in the building. What's good with you? And so, yes, let JB go ahead and get the poll question up as well. But looking at 2nd and 10 here for the offense. And so RC says, JB, so what's up, man? And so, well, I'll tell you what's up. Shoot, a lot of football today, and that's always what's up. Meanwhile, oh man, incomplete pass right there, a little bit behind the guy. Now we're looking at 3rd and 10. So he's coming out passing here so far 0 for 2. Let's see if he gets his first completion here on 3rd and 10. But yeah, man, today's an important day around the league. We got what, like 13 NFL games playing today. So that is insane. And let's see, we've got Joe here, and Joe says, "Hi, Josh, let's go Bengals." And so, all right, Joe going for the Bengals. All right, here we go. 3rd and 10. Caleb in the pocket, throws it. Incomplete. So 3 and out for the offense here. Certainly not the way Chicago envisioned starting this one off there, but incomplete. But again, that's why you play the preseason games there. Go out there and get a feel for each other. Let's see. RC says, JB, I found my way in the Rhinos Fantasy Football League. You say, am I still in yours? And if so, what's the name of it so I can find it now that I downloaded the app? And so, yeah, so for Rising Rhinos one, I believe he did his on ESPN, and I did mine on Yahoo, so that would be two different fantasy apps. But yeah, the name of mine is actually, and I gotta check the name actually to see what did I name it. Um, so give me 1 second for that. But we're about to have the punt unit come out here. But hey, I mean, going from zero fantasy to being in two leagues, you'll get to experience the difference based upon different, rules and stuff like that. So you'll get to see a lot of good fantasy football. Meanwhile, oh man, what a return here for the Bengals. And so, but there is a penalty, so hold everything. There is a penalty, and normally that means this one's going to be coming back. So yeah, my fantasy league is called JMax Gridiron League. So that is what my fantasy league is called, JMax Gridiron League. And yes, you're still in it, although I don't think you've updated the team name just yet. And so Laney here on a Saturday, what's good with you? Laney says, hey JB, what's up? And so just, hey, I'm stoked. A lot of football today and a lot of meaningful football today. I mean, this is really what it comes down to when you think preseason, you instantly look forward to week 2 of the preseason. All right, but after that penalty, right now we've got the Bengals 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And Woodside's going to be starting at quarterback here for the Cincinnati Bengals in this one. Logan Woodside, former Tennessee Titan, I believe. And let's see how he does today for the Bengals' first offensive possession of the game. Woodside up under center, multiple tight ends. One back in the backfield, snaps it, feeds it to the back in the back off the right side. Here it's going to pick up 2 yards on the carry. And let's see, RC says Yahoo app. Oh, okay, I need to add it to my home page so I will always find a link. And so, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I need to do the same thing about the ESPN one because I'm in 3 fantasy leagues, and so 2 of them on Yahoo, and then one on the ESPN one. So I know I've got 3 different draft days: the 28th, the 30th, and I forget the final one, but I know that it's after that. All right, 2nd and 9. They're calling it shotgun here. Receiver goes in motion, fakes it to the back. Woodside over the middle, gets the completion, but he will be about 2 yards shy of the first down marker. Now we're looking at 3rd and 2 coming up here for the Cincinnati Bengals. Can they get a first down and keep this drive going? Let's see. Laney says, "Do you know what channel the Jacksonville game comes on tonight?" And so let me look and see if I can see that for you. Yeah, give JB 1 second and I'll look that up right now and see if I can spot it. Let's see. All right, and again on 3rd and 3, gets a nice little completion there to Travion Williams. Okay, and he picks up 4 yards. That's his second catch of the game. He's got 2 catches so far for 6 yards. Fresh new set of downs to work with. All right, let's see. And again, 13 games coming on today, so we've got football pretty much all day. But for the Jaguars, will that game be? Mm. All right, so that one is actually not going to be on NFL Network, so I do not know specifically what channel that one will be on. I just know that I won't be able to get that one, but I think it's like NFL Plus or something like that, from what it looks like. All right, so 2nd and 6. Again, 12 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. Still 0-0. Looking to see who's going to get the first points of the game. Shotgun formation here for the Bengals. Snaps it. Quick pass. Too low. Incomplete. Ball clearly hit the ground there. So we got 3rd and 6 coming up here. But at least it's 3rd and medium at the moment. So this is very manageable. Again, Woodside is in there at quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Logan Woodside. All right, so 3rd and 6. Here in the shotgun. Bears are showing pressure. Let's see if they actually send it. 5 seconds right now on the play clock. Up. That's going to be a penalty there. There's some movement there, so that's going to be a penalty. That will back them up 5 yards there. That's not good at all. Not good at all. Lacey Laney says, "Okay, thank you. More than happy to help." But yeah, a ton of games today. But right now, I know the Falcons and Ravens, they should be just about at halftime, if not there already. Looks like the Ravens are leading that one 7-3. All right, but we got 3rd and 11 coming up here for the Bengals. Again, first quarter, 11 minutes and 52 seconds to go. And what I should have done in the first place is put up the poll question. Totally forgot about that. All right, but 3rd and 11, shotgun, looking, throws it, gets the completion, but he will be short of the first down marker by a long shot there. So excellent job there by the Bears defense to get the stop, and Cincinnati will have to punt the ball. That penalty that they had prior to that false start, that did hurt. That did hurt. All right, let's see. Makes the first guy miss on the return and takes it to the 29-yard line. Okay. All right, putting the poll question together now as we're currently at the commercial. All right. All right, poll question is almost up. All right. Okay, so almost done. All right, poll question should be. All right, why won't it let me start the poll? That's a interesting question. I guess it says I guess it says my poll question is too long, so let me reduce it. All right, let's see if that works. Perfect. All right, that worked. All right, let's see. RC says, JB, I changed my name in here. And you say, thought you were Joe Bolden's team, but I guess that was me. And so yeah, that was the previous person, Joe's Bold team that you took over and stuff like that. So rather than it being a completely new one, I had you take over someone else's team so that you can change the name and stuff and take over ownership of it. So absolutely, but yes, poll question is up, and the poll question is who will finish higher in the standings in their respective divisions. So you got to think about both divisions and stuff like that. So even if you think one team might have a better record, is it good enough for them to finish higher in their respective division? You think about Cincinnati, obviously Baltimore comes to mind. You know what Pittsburgh can do. Then last year what Cleveland did as well. So very, very competitive division and stuff like that. Then you think about the Bears, everybody's expecting that it's going to be the Lions and Packers and stuff like that. But this Bears team, they could be an X factor. They could be a wild card. Speaking of the Bears, they just handed off, and that's going to be a pickup of about a yard or two on the ground. Looks like Khalil Herbert on a carry. All right, let's see. RC says, JB, you have the Bears in the poll, and so I did make that mistake, didn't I? Well, I guess I got to end the poll then and edit the question. Uh, Yeah, appreciate that heads up there. It would have taken me forever. I did mean, yeah, so I got to end that poll question since JB went ahead and just botched it and it won't let me edit it. So here we go again. I mean, well, Herbert again, okay. Third down coming up. 10 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. All right. I do have another question that I will ask a little bit later in this. I think it's a good question. All right, 3rd and 5. Caleb throws it. He does get the completion, but his guy is going to be short at least by 2 yards. So that's going to bring up 4th down, and Chicago will have to punt. And so both teams right now offensively looking sluggish. SM, what's good with ya? What's good with ya? How are you doing? RC says, now I'm wondering who are the Bengals typo. Hey, after my typo, I was not going to call you out for that. All right, so they're going to punt the ball on 4th and 1. Let's see if we get a good return. And the ball's going to roll to the 12-yard line. Okay, that's where Logan Woodside and the Cincinnati Bengals will take over from their own 12-yard line. Okay. Now JB's got to get it right this time. Okay. All right, so let's see. Hopefully this time I got it right, hopefully. And let's see, SM says, what's good, JB? And so, oh man, JB's feeling great. A lot of football today. Earlier this morning, JB got a good workout in, so JB is feeling great. Feeling great. SM says, what is Shane Waldron doing, bro? And let's see, SM says, I'm doing great, JB. What's going on with you? And so, oh man, just, living the dream or dreaming about living one of the two. RC says, JB, my name in your fantasy league is RC Strong Newbies. And so, interesting, interesting. RC says, is Burrow gonna stay healthy? That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm a little concerned because they picked up Trent Brown, and from my experience of watching Trent Brown last season, that's going to be a weak spot there. But aside from that, I anticipate that he will be and stuff like that. It seems like his injuries don't happen back to back seasons and stuff like that. So I'll say that he will be this year and stuff like that, or at least I'm hoping that he will be. But time will tell. But guys, I got a question for you guys here in the chat, and so let me know your answer. I want to see who's the first person to get it right. And don't Google it. I want to know, like, just do your best not to Google it and stuff like that. But let JB know who is the only quarterback in NFL history and stuff like that. At least since the merger and stuff like that. I can't go pre that time period. But who is the only quarterback in NFL history to lead two NFL franchises that are in the same division? So both of the franchises that are in the same division to a Super Bowl. Again, who is the only NFL quarterback to lead two teams that are both in the same division to a Super Bowl? Let me know who you call, who you think it is in the chat. Maybe you think it's an easy question. Maybe you're like, oh man, I can't think of it. But let JB know in the chat who you think it is. Again, I'll repeat it one more time. Who is the only quarter? Matter of fact, I should go ahead and just type it up here. Let's see if I can do that. I had to look it up myself to confirm it prior because I was thinking about it the other day. All right, so Laney says Joe Montana, and I'll wait a minute before I provide the right answer so that way people get a chance to, go ahead and comment on it. So let me go ahead and type this one. Who is the only- All right. But Joe Montana is a great answer. I'm not gonna lie, that's a great answer. All right, let's see. So RC says John Elway. Okay, okay. SM says, honestly, got no idea. Not, I mean, it's a really good question. I mean, first of all, there's only but a few people that have led two different organizations to a Super Bowl in general. And then once you narrow it down, it comes down to like, man, which two teams were in the same division? Right? And remember, that just means that both teams in the same division, and at least made it there. Didn't have to win it, didn't have to win both of them, but at least got both two organizations to a Super Bowl. All right, again, first quarter with 7 minutes and 5 seconds to go. And it's the Bengals right now with the football from their own 32-yard line. Receiver goes in motion, went back in the backfield. Woodside gets the snap, hands it to the back off the left side, and he is going to get back to the line of scrimmage. I'm gonna have to change the thing that I'm using for my streams moving forward because it is difficult for me to pin because this thing keeps getting in the way when I'm trying to pin this thing right here. All right, there we go. But yeah, I want to see who gets it right, doing it the right way. RC said I deleted John Elwood now. That was a brain fart, JB, and so I'll give it some time before I provide the right answer. RC says he wants to cheat so bad right now, but he won't do it. Meanwhile, oh man, look at that. That's a big time sack right there by the defense, and that was Gordon that got back there for the sack. Third down coming up. Wow. That's gonna be like third and 18. I honestly thought there was gonna be a lot of offense in this one. Now I'm looking at it like, man, man, I was wrong. So yes, so you've got multiple opportunities to participate here. You guys go ahead and make sure that you cast your vote and let me know who's going to finish higher in the standings of their respective divisions, and also answer my question in the chat if you feel like you know the answer, and do it without cheating. All right, third and 18. It's going to be a penalty here for a false start. I'll give the answer at the end of the first quarter. I'll give it at the end of the first quarter, unless somebody gets it correct. But even then, I won't acknowledge it until then. I might wait till halftime to give a couple more people to join. All right, but right now we've got the Bears. Okay, so Bears, and it's really tough because Cincinnati can make a case either way. And here we go, that baseball football player Chase. What's good with ya? He says, "Go Bears." Yes. How are you? Glad to see you here. Fourth down coming up, and I mean, I gotta tell you, the Bears, they are looking really good. They are looking really good. That's what happens when it all goes back to that trade they made with Carolina that obviously set them up for getting Caleb Williams. It's one thing to have the first overall pick. It's another thing when your team really wasn't the worst team, but you were able to pick first. And so that means you had a good team. The general managers did a good job getting, the receivers and stuff that they need. And I like what I'm seeing from the Bears. I really do. All right, so that punt's going to go to the 21-yard line. And let's see. Baseball football player says, "How are you?" I am doing great. I am doing great. Nothing like week 2 when it comes to preseason and stuff like that. But hey, I'm excited. That means the regular season is getting a lot closer. Heck, next week is going to be the first week 0 for college football. So now's a great time to be a football fan in general. So I'm feeling really good. I'm excited. I'm excited. The only thing that can make JB more happy is if somehow my favorite team decides to start actually playing like they care. That would be the only thing that would make JB happier. But other than that, I'm feeling stoked right now. And I'm glad that you're doing good. Let's see. RC says, "JB, is it Peyton Manning?" And so that is what RC is going to throw out there for this one, Peyton Manning. And so that's a good guess. A really good guess. He did lead two teams to a Super Bowl and stuff like that. But we're looking for two teams that are in the same division. That's the tough part. If I remove that whole same division part, then that would be correct, but the whole like they've got to be in the same division. But yeah, I might mention that one. Let's see, Joe said, "Don't let President fool you." And again, we're currently right now at the commercial. But yeah, a lot of football today, 13 games. I wonder why the NFL put so many on one day. But hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I see that the Falcons and the Ravens, they're currently right now at halftime, and you got the Ravens leading right there 7-3. And let's see, RC says, "JB, did they win it all twice?" And so they did not win it both times. They did not win it both times. And so the person who I'm thinking of, he did win it with one organization and stuff like that, but he lost with the other organization. Although it was very close, it was one of JB's top three Super Bowls that I've witnessed and stuff like that. So he was involved in that. So, but yes, I want to see the names that do get thrown out there. That is definitely a question that I myself had to think about when I first thought of that question. And I had the research to make sure that there was nobody else that had the same scenario specifically when it comes to the same division. There was another quarterback that came very close. He was one interception away. If he didn't throw that interception, he would have been able to qualify. But I'll leave it just in case somebody tries to guess him. Let's see. RC says, I feel like I know who it is, and it's one of my favorite quarterbacks all time. Bet, bet, bet. And so, baseball, football player just subbed. Appreciate that. Hey, I appreciate you subbing here. Let us know all your favorite sports and your favorite teams and stuff like that. And then I'll go ahead and let you know as well when it comes to mine. But appreciate having you on. Meanwhile, second and two. All right, Bengals making it do what it do here. Third down coming up. But man, there's a lot to be excited for and stuff like that. And I feel like Caleb Williams this year is going to be that guy that wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. You guys know I love me some Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm a Buckeyes fan, so I love me Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. will finish second, but I think Caleb Williams is going to go out there and win Offensive Rookie of the Year because I think it's going to translate to a lot of victories for Chicago this season. But third and two, throws it, incomplete. He's got the weapons around him. The Bears got a good defense, and I feel like the timing is just there. Obviously, Detroit's going to be a tough team. Green Bay's going to be tough there, but he can still go out there and compete, honestly. Let's see. SM says, I'm an idiot. I know the answer, LOL. Warner, Kurt Warner. SM got it. Yes, SM figured it out. That is correct. Kurt Warner. He led the Rams to two Super Bowls. He did beat the Tennessee Titans in a Super Bowl. That still makes me sad for Tennessee and stuff like that. But he did lose to the Patriots when Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl. But he did lead the Arizona Cardinals. And remember, the Cardinals and the Rams, they're both in the same division. He led the Cardinals to the Super Bowl as well, even though he lost. And it was a tremendous Super Bowl and stuff like that. You don't get that many Super Bowls to that magnitude where it's that kind of big plays to that degree. But yes, that is correct. Congratulations, SM. Yes, that was the question that I know a lot of people was like, man, that's tough. That's tough. So, but yes, got to give a shout out there to SM. Meanwhile, we are here at the commercial. And let's see. All right, so baseball, football player says, okay, so you like the St. Louis Cardinals, Blackhawks, Bulls, and the Bears. Okay, okay, nice, nice, nice. Love it, love it. Oh man, tell me, how did you feel about the Chicago Bulls off season and stuff like that? How'd you feel about that? But as for me, yeah, as I mentioned, Ohio State, that's my college football, college basketball. And then for the NBA, Lakers fan. Been a Lakers fan going back to, if I had to estimate, probably back to like 2002 or something like that. I would guess probably about 2002-ish or something like that. So yeah, been a Lakers fan. And then the New England Patriots, my favorite NFL team. Probably similar year in terms of, being a fan of that. So yeah, so those are my favorite teams. When it comes to baseball, although I'll admit I don't watch baseball that often, but the Tampa Bay Rays are the team that I had chose back in like 2000. I think it was like 2008 that I made that decision, just so I can have a team. And at that time, they weren't that good, so I said I'll just choose Tampa Bay at that time. And let's see, RC says, wait a minute here. I said KW, look above JB. I said it first. Oh, bet, bet, bet. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So all right. So my bad about that one, RC. Don't come for JB's neck here. All right, so it was actually RC after further review. Okay, okay, but yes, Kurt Warner is that guy. So my bad. I just didn't see it. I just didn't see it. All right, but I see that we got 6 votes here, and so three for the Bears, three for the Bengals here. Okay. But yeah, that was a fun question there. That was a fun question. I'll see if I can think of something for the second quarter, but I'll go ahead and unpin this one since we have the answer there. All right, so shotgun here. Tight end goes in motion. Three receivers, one tight end, one back. Feeds it to the back, up the middle on the draw, and he's going to pick up a yard on a carry. And so far in this game, Williams is the leading back here for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's got 5 carries for 21 yards. We're still here in the first quarter with under 3 minutes to go so far in this one. Still tied 0-0, so we need some points. We need some points. And let's see. RC says, JB, yesterday Caitlin cooked. I call her Bacon Caitlin. She fried the Phoenix Mercury for 29 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds for the W. Getting after it. That's what's up. I did see that things got a little chippy out there. 2nd and 9. Dropping back. Throws it short to the back. There's already a penalty, but look at the space in front of him. Takes it to the 45, but I wonder, will the penalty bring it back? Let's see. RC said, if I was a billionaire, I would bring basketball to St. Louis. Oh man, if JB was a billionaire, look out. Ain't no telling what JB would get into if I was a billionaire. It's probably good I ain't got that kind of money, honestly. Oh man. Let's see. Baseball, football says, dang it. RC says, wait a minute here. I said KW. All right. SM says, I'm a Rams fan, so I'm a little embarrassed it took me that long to figure it out. And so, yes, the great Kurt Warner. I was looking to see if someone was going to probably, well, we know Brett Favre didn't do it, but Brett Favre came the second closest to doing it. If he would not have thrown that interception against the Saints when he was with the Vikings, then he would have been the second to do it. But Brett Favre was Brett Favre, turned it over in the biggest moment. So that prevented that. I still feel like they should have handed the ball to Adrian Peterson, but I do know that he had fumbling problems at that time as well, but still. But anyway, so yes, it was the great Kurt Warner. SM says, how has Caleb looked so far? And so, well, so far in this game, Caleb is 2 for 6 for 12 yards, but so not too impressive in this one, but that's to be expected from time to time. Last game, he looked really good here, so we'll see if he starts to pick it up. 3rd and 13, Woodside steps up into the throw, gets the completion. That's what I'm talking about here. Some big plays there. Big time play. And that was Burton with the catch. Picked up 19 yards and a first down. Again, a minute and 5 seconds to go here in the first. Let's see. Baseball, football says flag. Joe says University of Miami, the Miami Heat, and Indianapolis Colts. And so, okay, okay. Miami Hurricanes, they were ranked, what, 19th, I believe, in the AP poll a couple days ago. So we'll see what kind of season they have. Meanwhile, 1st and 10, play fake, throws it to the back, and the back brought down. He picks up about 4 yards on the catch. That's going to make it 2nd and 6. We got about 33 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Again, still scoreless so far in this one. Who's going to get the first points in this one? We got to get some points, right? We have to. RC says, rookie of the Yeezy loading for CC22. And you say, JB, I'm about to drop a video today touching skinning the surface on why you love the Iowa Hawkeyes. And so, okay, okay, nice, nice, nice. And you said you're really considering covering the Iowa Hawkeyes football this season. And so, I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see why not, like why not go all in on everything, Hawkeyes, obviously you have women's college basketball that's covered. And so why not the football team as well? Iowa ranked 25 to start off the year. If there's one thing about these AP polls when they start off the season, they go off of how good do you look when you win and stuff like that. Think of Michigan. They got Michigan at number 9, I think. And I'm a Buckeyes fan, but seeing them below Penn State, that was laughable right there. Like putting Penn State above them. We know if those two teams played each other, they would beat Penn State and stuff like that at least 8 out of 10 times. So, but the committee goes off of those style points. Do you get those style points? That's why a team like Ole Miss continues to get like ranked so high when honestly I feel like if Ole Miss played a team with a really good defense and shut them down, like even Iowa probably can beat them and stuff like that on a good day. I'll say on a good day and stuff like that. So, or at least I feel like Clemson can certainly beat a team like Ole Miss. So that's why Ole Miss is never up there. They're never beating a team like Alabama. They're never beating a team like Georgia because they're not built the way that you need to be built to beat a team like that. But they get a lot of style points because they score a lot of points. They give up a lot of points, but they score a lot of points. So, but don't get JB starting about college football right now. That will definitely get me sidetracked here. But 1 quarter in the book, and Logan Woodside, 7 of 8 for 45 yards passing. Caleb Williams, 2 of 6 right now for 12 yards passing. So certainly you want to get some more positive stuff out of him so where he can start, feeling much better before you take him out this game. But we'll see what they choose to do. RC says, I don't like the men's Iowa's basketball team. JB, you say you used to like them, but not as presently constituted. You say, I will only watch them if nothing else is on. Okay, okay, okay. And that's coming from a diehard Iowa fan. I will say, when it comes to, I mean, I do watch some of the Ohio State's men's basketball team lately. Probably not as much as I did back in the day when we were actually really good, back in the Greg Oden days and stuff like that before the University of Florida took our thunder and stuff like that. But I miss those days. And then when we had guys like Evan Turner and stuff like that, I miss those guys. RC says, who's Logan Whiteside? You mean Woodside? Yeah, Logan Woodside. I know that he was formerly on the Tennessee Titans roster and stuff like that. But in terms of prior to that, let me see where he went to college back in the day and how many years he's been in the league. But 2nd and 7 for the Bengals. Snaps it, going to give it to the back in the back off the right guard there. He's going to be about a yard shy, about 2 yards shy of that first down marker. He picked up about 5 yards. All right, let's see. All right, so Logan Woodside, he went to Toledo in college, and he has been in the league dating back to 2020. So 2020, then 2021, both of those years with the Titans, but he actually spent last year with the Atlanta Falcons. So, okay, so I did remember when he was with the Titans, but that was a while back. And so last year was actually spent at least a little time with one game, I think, with the Atlanta Falcons. All right, let's see. RC says you like UCLA women's basketball too. I remember that. I remember that. SM says the Greg Oden, Mike Conley days, back when teams had to actually respect Ohio State in college hoops. Man, I miss those days. Let's see. Those were some of my favorite teams. Um, Another one of my favorite teams was back when Syracuse had guys like Johnny Flynn and stuff like that. I enjoyed watching Johnny Flynn play college hoops, especially when like Syracuse and West Virginia used to go back and forth and stuff like that. I remember those teams absolutely. All right, but here we go. 4th and 1. Again, here in the second quarter, we're still looking for some points here. Both teams' defenses getting after it, making life difficult. All right, so that is a first, actually, 1st and 10. All right, let's see. RC says, JB, check this out though. The reason for the video is because, believe it or not, some people wanted me to dump my loyalties to Iowa schools and switch to being a fan of USC and LSU or other women's team. And so they actually told you that they want you to switch your favorite team, RC? Wow. Wow, that's bold. That's bold. All right, let JB see if there's any way, because I feel like I'm a little bit behind when it comes to the actual game here. All right, but 2nd and 5 here in the second quarter, 12 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Still scoreless in this one. Bengals with the football. RC says, and the thing is, this is my team. I wouldn't even have a channel if I wasn't so passionate about my Lady Hawkeyes. I was always a fan, but became a diehard fan in the year 2000. And so, yes, it's all about your passion. That's what it really comes down to. I mean, they want a USC channel. There's plenty of USC and LSU channels out there, I'm telling you. So, got to stay true to your beliefs, that's for sure. But that's typically how it is when you're growing out your channel and stuff like that until you have an established culture and stuff like that to where you have a certain group of people that, typically show up and they understand the culture, then others will see based upon, their how the I guess the temperature is and stuff like that when it comes to the chat. And then, that'll change. SM says Adam Morrison in college. Yes. Yes. Yes, and speaking of college hoops, since we're on the topic, who's someone that you absolutely despised when they were in college and stuff like that? And then as a pro, it's like, all right, maybe I don't hate you that much. But when they were in the college, oh man, what a hit! Oh my goodness, what a hit! And he threw a pick because he threw it while he got hit. That'll make the team jump up there. That's what I'm talking about. Wow. What a big time play. This defense got after it. Look at it here. Woodside got blindsided on that one. Wow. What a hit. What a hit. Whoo. And let's see. RC says SM Adam Morrison in the NBA. Nasty yuck. Ooh. You said I was hot tempered, was too hot when people compare Caitlin Clark to Adam Morrison. What? SM says easy answer. JJ Redick. I feel like for me, the person that I despised at the collegiate level when it came to college hoops was Jakeem Noah. I despised him and everything he stood for because of what he did to my Ohio State Buckeyes and how they embarrassed us, not just in basketball that year, but football too. But he was like the poster boy that took that dislike and stuff like that. But then when he got to the NBA and stuff like that, the toughness that he brought, being on the same team as a guy like Derrick Rose when I was rooting for Derrick Rose to take down LeBron James and company and stuff like that. So then I was like, okay, so I didn't really hate him and stuff like that at the NBA level, but when he was at the University of Florida, which is funny because I actually graduated from the University of Florida, but this was, obviously prior to me graduating from the University of Florida, so I did not like Jakeem Noah at the college level personally and stuff like that when it came to that. That was personal. And so, Fortnite, what's good with you? How are you doing? I hope everybody's staying hydrated, man. This weather's been extremely hot, so I hope everybody's staying hydrated. But how are you guys doing? Let's see. As I said, I hated that dude in college. RC says, well, I mean, I didn't dislike Andrew Reese in college, but here's the catch. I still gave her respect and made videos in support of her, never tore her down. Esmond says Noah was annoying in college. That's a good answer. And so, yes, yes, it was. I'm probably the only person that he would have been my first choice and stuff like that. But it was personal because as a Buckeye fan, I was devastated. One team beat you in the same year. That was devastating, extremely devastating. I'm still not over that. Still not over that. I mean, seeing them suffer now, it's like they still hurt me. They still hurt me there. So. All right, let's see. RC says, yes, yes, the way LSU and Reese beat my Iowa Hawkeyes had me calling them our sworn enemy for 2 years. And so yeah, I remember. I remember that. I remember that. That game right there, I remember that. That was yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. I remember that. That was a lot that you had to deal with that year. First and 10. All right, on the end of the round, can he get to the corner there? It's got to be 45. He is. Look at him still moving. 16 yards there, and that's Rome Odunez there. So they got him on a move and everything. Nice. RC says, how is it Al Horford, the Florida Gators legend, is still playing? Ageless Al. And so Some guys are built like that, RC. I mean, you think about how long a guy like Vince Carter played as well and stuff like that. It's just they love the game, first of all. They wasn't the kind of players that were selfish on the court. They were always team players and they adjust to whatever role it was. Some guys and stuff like that, they didn't like the role of having to come off the bench. That bothers some people and stuff like that. Others rather retire before they reach to that point. But it's all about being able to adjust and stuff like that. And a guy like Al Horford, he's going to bring it, defensively. He's a veteran. He's a leader. He's the kind of guy that you want. You think about Udonis Haslem and how long he played. I mean, Udonis Haslem, how long he was on the bench and stuff like that for the Miami Heat. I was like, y'all just letting this man collect a check when he really just a coach at this point and stuff like that. But some guys can hang around just because, like they can adjust. They can adjust. They're not selfish, and whatever they need to do for the team to win. They don't care about their own stats. Some guys they care about their stats, but these guys they didn't care too much about their own stats. They just want to do whatever it takes to win. And those are the kind of guys that you can definitely have and just keep them around for a long time. Because even when the scoring left for the most part and stuff like that, still you're getting the same energy, the same effort, and he knows his role. He'll make it up in other areas when the scoring is not there. And when the scoring does come back, then that's great. Let's see, SM says Al Horford, Jakeem Noah, Corey Brewer, all those guys. And then to see Greg Oden be the first pick by the Trailblazers right before Kevin Durant. And what a mistake that turned out to be. What a mistake. Let's see. RC says he's got to think about it on the men's side. And so, all right, let's see. RC says SM and JB. I see that Corey Brewer is playing in the big three. Meanwhile, for Chicago from their own 20, first and 15. Oh, man. Caleb got sacked there. It's just a rough day right there. But you know what? As a rookie, there will be some rough times and stuff like that. And so it comes down to having faith. First of all, your offensive line got to give you a little bit of time and stuff like that. We know the skills are there, and you got the receivers and stuff like that. But there will be some times where, hey, a tough defense like that, that's going to be tough. Let's see, RC says, JV, I always say if you play this game long enough, superstar or not, 9 out of 10, the 1% difference being LeBron James, 9 out of 10, you're going to end up coming off the bench. It's true. It's true. I saw Melo come off the bench. That was someone I never thought I'd see come off the bench and stuff like that. But Melo, I remember when Tracy McGrady was on the bench for the San Antonio Spurs that time when I personally was rooting for the Spurs to beat the Heat, and I thought the Spurs were going to do it. So I myself was celebrating and stuff like that. But then Ray Allen happened to exist and change that. And so I was hurt for myself because I was talking up the Spurs so much, and I was hurt because Tracy McGrady never got that championship ring, and I slick wanted him to get one, even though he was on the bench and didn't really contribute to it. But I still wanted him to get one because, I mean, when Tracy McGrady was with the Houston Rockets, he was one of my top three favorite players and stuff like that, just because his size and stuff like that. And Kobe said it himself, like the toughest player for him to guard and stuff like that was Tracy McGrady because T Mac, even though he had the size, he still moved like a guard, but obviously played, like a forward and stuff like that. He could do it all back in the day during his prime before injuries, took over. I still would have wanted to see what a healthy T-Mac and a healthy, Yao Ming combination would have looked like against one of those D Wade and Shaquille O'Neal type of teams in the best of seven series. But that's something that we never got in a championship like type of atmosphere. And so let's see, RC says, JV, that's called trying to sneak a ring. And so, yes. Meanwhile, we finally got some points here. We got some points here. Field goal is good here by the Bears. And so again, second quarter, 9 minutes and 8 seconds to go. And so 3 points on the board. And so we finally got some points here. Okay. Now this is Chicago type of football here. All right, let me check and see how we're doing right now on the poll question. We got 7 votes in. Okay. Let's keep the votes coming in. But right now, the Bears are leading the poll. And again, who will finish higher in the standings of their respective divisions? And so there's no question in my mind that the Cincinnati Bengals have the talent. We all know that. When you got Joe Burrow, you certainly got the chance and stuff like that. And obviously this has to be the year because who knows what's going to happen with T. Higgins after this season? Who knows and stuff like that. And obviously, you know, another year, Jamar Chase. I mean, it has to happen this year. It has to happen this year, but it's going to be so tough there. I feel like this division is going to come down to obviously who's the most healthiest and stuff like that. We know Joe Burrow has his injury concerns. We know that Lamar Jackson has injury concerns sometimes and stuff like that. So who will remain healthy? That's who's going to be there at the end of the day. And let's see, RC says, Allen Iverson, I just knew it. When he lost his agility and quickness as he got up in those basketball years that he wouldn't be as good. And sure enough, his decline came quick. Yes, good old Allen Iverson. I mean, I still remember when he signed with the Denver Nuggets, and I was like, wow, he's joining forces with Carmelo Anthony and stuff like that. I mean, speaking of Allen Iverson, shoot, Andre Iguodala and stuff like that back when he was with the 76ers with AI, and then to see how his career went when he was just a staple, the guy that shut down LeBron James with the Warriors in the finals and stuff like that, made a nice name for himself, honestly. So you had those guys, and so yeah, a lot of those guys. And let's see, SM says T Mac, Tim Duncan, and Grant Hill almost teamed up. And so, yes, it's so funny how all those situations that were so close to possibly happening, and it's like, man, I wonder what would have happened. I wonder what could have been. And then you have those times where a player joins a team and you're just like, oh man, like he really screwed that team over. And unfortunately, my Lakers have fell victim to that when, when we had signed Steve Nash. And I was so excited when we signed Steve Nash. I was like, all those years that he hurt us, and now he's joining forces with us, only for Steve Nash to get injured, carrying a bag off the plane, hurt his back. That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing, and I felt like he did that on purpose. I felt like he did it on purpose to hurt us one more time. All right, 9 minutes and 2 seconds to go. And so far for Caleb, 4 of 8 for 19 yards. But on that drive, 5 plays, 55 yards, 2 minutes and 53 seconds in terms of time of possession off the clock. And it was a 37-yard field goal by Santos that gave the Bears that 3-0 lead. All right, let's see. RC said, and of course, another thing that worked against an aging AI was he definitely wasn't trying to jet Terry six-man type of role. And so, oh no, my man wasn't going to do that. My man was not going to do that. All right, shotgun, looking, throws it, gets the completion and a first down, takes it to the 45-yard line. So that's going to move the chains with 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And let's see, RC says, JB, the Knuckleheads podcast is one of my favorite hoops related podcasts because they keep the topic 98.9% hoops related. I do want to do more college. Well, maybe I don't know about how much college hoops I can actually do, but I do want to do more college related content and streams and stuff like that this season. And let's see, RC says, it's Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles. And let's see, SM says Steve Nash robbed Kobe of an MVP and a ring. And so, yes, yes, yes. And I still remember Dwight Howard joining the crew and thinking to myself, okay, this is gonna generate us another ring. But boy, I could not have been more wrong. Could not have been more wrong because not everybody wants to be pushed hard. I mean, don't get me wrong. Dwight Howard, when he was in Orlando, tremendous player, tremendous player. And even a couple spurts, like coming in off the bench, he carved out a nice role for himself. But what he wasn't was someone that was on the same commitment level as a Kobe Bryant. And guys like Kobe Bryant, guys like Michael Jordan, when they have that certain level of expectations of themselves, they expect that of everyone else. It's not enough for you to just be good or great. They expect you to have the same desire to dominate and stuff like that. So yeah, let's see. RC says, JB, what are your thoughts on Blake Griffin's overall career? When I think Blake Griffin, I instantly think Chris Paul throwing up a lob to Blake Griffin. I think Lob City. When I think Blake Griffin, and heck, I even think about Blake Griffin back in his days in Oklahoma and stuff like that. But Blake Griffin, I think pure athleticism. And at a time, they were exciting to watch and stuff like that. They certainly helped bring the Clippers to relevance. and stuff like that. You think about what the Clippers were before that and stuff like that. So Blake Griffin, pretty good career, but never the type of career that was going to bring a championship. Obviously, we know that in hindsight, but still a good career and an exciting one. To see that type of athleticism, it's fun for the people that actually get to show up, watch it in person and stuff like that back in the day. So I thought it was a good career. I thought it was a good career. Given his skill set, good career. Essom says I was excited about Antoine Jameson too. He said Lakers should have never traded Lamar Odom. Yes, I remember the confusion. I was like, we traded him for some cap space? For some cap space? Really? Meanwhile, they run the ball with looks like Elijah Collins there picks up 4 yards. All right, so we got 3rd and 5 coming up. But yeah, you're right about that, SM. That's when it all just started to crumble there. And I remember we had just got swept by the Dallas Mavericks prior to that, I believe. We had just got swept, and so Phil Jackson, he's like, all right, that's pretty much it. I mean, we were looking good. We were looking good. We got rid of Lamar Odom for nothing basically, and then Andrew Bynum just fell off a cliff at that time because we had him, we had Pau Gasol, but Andrew Bynum, he was on the right path, but then he just instantly fell. Ever since that one game he had where he was getting his hair braided on the sideline as if he was that kind of dude and all like that. After that, it was just like, all right, like he stopped caring. I think the fame got to him. He just stopped caring at that point. And it was a shame too, because like at first Andrew Bynum had that want to, but he just lost it. He just lost it, and that really hurt once he lost it. Because if he would have continued on the path that he was developing, that would have been big for us, and we needed that. The combination of him and Powell down low. All right, but 3rd and 16, shotgun formation, 3 receivers, 1 tight end. Looks like a timeout was called by Cincinnati just before the play clock expired. All right, let's see. RC says nobody competes harder than Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, or Michael Jordan in basketball, JV, and so that's a fact. SM says kids these days don't know how good KG was. And so, yes, I mean, going back to the Timberwolves days before the Boston Celtics and stuff like that, I mean, it's the energy that you play with, the energy, the passion, and all that great stuff. Heck, they won't even remember how great Dwayne Wade was prior to his injuries kicking in. Now, after his injuries kicked in, he was okay with being second fiddle to Bron. Can't blame him there. But prior to that, back when they won that championship with him and Shaq and stuff like that, I mean, he was on a path. Guys like D Wade, guys like D Rose and stuff like that. Like shoot, like they really were on a trajectory that was extremely high. I remember like seeing a guy like, Brandon Roy and all the injuries and stuff like that he had to overcome. I mean, it's a shame how injuries really changed so many guys' narratives that really could have probably been some of the greatest ever. All right, quick pass there. Not going to pick up more than 2 yards there on the catch. And so 4th down. Look at the Bears fired up here. That defense is enjoying this one. That's what you like to see. You like to see a team that's getting after it. Preseason or not, they're getting after it. They're ready for that regular season. RC says, what quarter are we in? We're in the second quarter, RC. We're in the second quarter with about 5 minutes and 8 seconds to go, and the Bears are up 3-0, and Cincinnati is about to punt the ball. And let's see, RC says, Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental. And so there's one thing about a guy like Tim Duncan. I think of a guy like Tom Brady when it comes to the NFL. They have one thing in common that really stands out amongst the many things. Obviously, the championships, all that great stuff. But they both allowed their coaches to chew them out however is necessary to basically set the tone for the rest of the team. Like, man, a guy like Tim Duncan, a guy like Tom Brady getting chewed out by the coach, man, if he's chewing him out, I better get on it and stuff like that. So when you have guys like that were selfless, and then Tim Duncan to go from being the main point and then like, okay, let's let Mono get his, let's let Tony Parker get his. I mean, Tony Parker. He was balling. Those guys were balling and stuff like that, you know. And then when Kawhi, was taking over and stuff like that. So to allow the other guys to do their role and then just be okay with it. Be okay with it. You'll get yours. You'll help them out. And so you need guys like that on championship teams. SM says, I'm going to watch a lot of Bears games this season because of Caleb. And so the Bears are going to be a fun team to watch. They will be a fun team to watch. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. The Bears, let me make sure Braden's not on because I'm sure Braden would be very disappointed to hear me say this. But I think the Bears are going to steal one from the Packers this year. I believe they're going to go ahead and take ownership back from the Packers this year. It's time. It's time. Now, I'm not saying that they'll finish with a better record or nothing like that, but I'm just saying I think that they will split this year. Let's see. RC says Liberty versus Aces at 3:15. Gotta see it. Says must see TV. Must see. How often, RC, do you typically, I guess, post content and stuff like that? How often would you say that you typically? Do you have like a set schedule, or do you aim for X amount of games throughout the week, or how do you go about just determining that? And again, we've got 7 votes right now, so definitely be sure to let us know who you got in the poll. All right, let's see. Let's see. RC says, JV, I normally don't have a schedule. I have days I post a lot and then days I don't post at all. And so, okay, so freestyling it. Okay, okay. All right, 1st and 10. Feeds it to the back and the back off the right side. That's going to be Herbert again. And Herbert's going to pick up about 6 yards on the carry. And again, with this being the second preseason game, so we're getting an extended look at some of the core guys here. Let's see, RC says, haven't live streamed in a minute either, just been a lot of shorts and doing your pre-recorded content. Where do you find more success? Do you find that, I guess you'll end up getting more views from, well, I imagine more views from videos and stuff like that, but in terms of the actual engagement and stuff like that, are you getting more engagement from your videos or are you getting more engagement on your live streams? And again, Caleb Williams here, okay. Starting to get a little bit more comfortable here. He's currently 5 of 9 for 30 yards. That's what you want to see. That's what I want to see before halftime. I want to see Caleb just go ahead and drive it down there. SM says, nice throw, Caleb. Let's see. RC says, basically, I dropped about 2 videos on a regular day, sometimes 3 or 4 days. All right, feeds it to the back, and Herbert. Oh, wow, look at Herbert cutting it back to the left side here, and he's going to utilize that speed. Picks up about 21 yards there. Wow. First down here for Chicago. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go here before halftime. Bears are up 3-0. Who do you guys think is a candidate to be this year's Brock Purdy? Who can be this year's, version of, okay, he comes in, takes over as a starter and stuff like that. That's a rookie quarterback. A rookie quarterback that you feel like isn't going to be the day one starter, but might take over at some point this season and maybe even be a surprise. Last year, I thought it was going to be Aiden O'Connell, and he did end up starting. I'm not going to say he was the most effective, but he did end up starting. This year, I feel like Spencer Rattler is a strong candidate. I feel like he's been having a good camp from what I've been hearing with the Saints. And I feel like Derek Carr, he's certainly someone that could get injured. and stuff like that. Or either if they're not having a good season, they can probably just turn away from him and stuff like that. So I just feel like they're not committed enough to him to where his job for the full season, if he's not out, unless he's just out there winning a bunch of games, I do feel like Spencer Rattler is going to have a chance to take his job. All right, SM agrees. Spencer Rattler, okay. Caleb spinning. Caleb going deep. And that is going to be, is that a completion? Yes, it is. Wow, that's what the Bears faithful have been waiting on right there. Look at the standing ovation they are giving him there. Wow, big time play. Threw the ball perfectly. And look at that. Didn't even set his feet on a throw. He just threw it up there. That's what you call a quarterback that he's just got it. He's just got it. Big time play. And now they're in the red zone. So can the Bears find a way to get a touchdown? Let's see. RC says, JB, oddly enough, I get decent views when I occasionally discuss wrestling. And so, oh, nice. Nice. That's wonderful. And let's see. RC says, for me, JB, it's a fine line. Most of the time, I get a lot of returning viewers. Okay, and you say my shorts go higher than pre-recorded, but sometimes it's topic sensitive. If it's Caitlin or Hawkeyes, talk the numbers. Okay, numbers up. SM says, saw that at USC all the time. Caleb is that dude. And so, yes, I did watch quite a few of his games last year and stuff like that. And so, definitely know that. That's why I say he's going to get the Offensive Rookie of the Year this year. Certainly because, I mean, it's just, this is what he does. This is what he does. And we're talking about USC. USC last year, absolutely abysmal defense and stuff like that. So that meant he had to keep scoring and stuff like that. And then, I mean, and you look at the weapons that he was throwing too, and that tells me a lot as well. I mean, no offense against those guys at USC, but none of those receivers were like first round picks and stuff like that. It wasn't a situation with like Michael Penix where he was throwing to two guys that, drafted in the first 2 rounds and stuff like that. It wasn't like that. My man was out there, he was taking spinach and stuff like that and turning into Popeye out there and just demolishing teams and stuff like that. And sure, sometimes he had to force some stuff, but that's what you do when you have no help. But he was just that guy. And we knew that. That's what happened in Oklahoma. That's when he took Spencer Rattler's job and stuff like that. So we seen it back then. But now you went out there and you gave my man Keenan Allen and stuff like that. And you already know what DJ Moore can do. And then you went out there and you drafted another playmaker as well. So you gave him three guys that hopefully they remain healthy all season. Not to mention a tight end who's used to carrying the load down there in Chicago. Hey, all I'm saying is that he's going to get his opportunities and he's going to go out there and put some points. The Bears are certainly a candidate to be one of those most improved type of teams. Let's see. All right, maybe I have another question here. This one might be a little bit easier than the first question, but let me see. All right, Caleb on the move. Got to make somebody miss here. Oop. He says, you're not going to catch me like that, and just throws that one in the back of the end zone. Is it good? Incomplete. You had one job. Got to stay in bounce there, baby. But, oh, man. Yeah, I feel like his foot was on the line when he caught that one. But, man, I mean, if he'd have kept his feet in bounce, that would have been a tremendous touchdown. it would have been. And let's see, RC says, I can't believe it, JB. I can't believe it, man. JJ is gone. And so, ah, man. SM says USC is going to struggle in the Big Ten this year. And so I saw USC was ranked, I think, like 23, I think, if I remember on the AP poll correctly. But yeah, I was thinking like, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a struggle. It is going to be a struggle for them. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. It is going to be a struggle when they go against a team like Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, yeah, Washington. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle throughout. A good season for them is make the bowl game, try to win about 7, hopefully 8 games. And so, Mike, what's good with you? Mike says, Yo, JB, what's good with you? RC says, the funniest thing I heard was going to be a bust because he paints his fingernails. And so, meanwhile, third and goal, Caleb avoids the rush. Caleb spins around. Caleb looking, has time. He's going to run into the end zone for a touchdown. How about that? These rookie quarterbacks, they're showing, hey, we can run and stuff like that. We saw a little something similar like that last Thursday from Drake May, but this time Caleb Williams runs it in there for a touchdown. He's all smiles. He's feeling good right now. There it is, a minute 33 left to go here before halftime. And that time you look at him, he stepped up. He moved to the right. He spun to the left. And then he was looking downfield. And he says, you know what? I got a blocker in front of me. Let me just run this one in. Cincinnati did not want that smoke on that play. SM says, let's go. He says, let's go. Wow. And now the extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So that's going to make the score right now. Bears up 10-0 with a minute 33 left to go in this one. And let's see, RC says, who is going to back up Sam Darnold, JB, for your Vikings? And so, oh man, I know that you guys picked up Matt Corral like what, yesterday, I think? You guys picked up Matt Corral and whoo, if Matt Corral has to get in the game, woe unto ye. Because I mean, no offense to Matt Corral, but he couldn't even hold the starting job for my Birmingham Stallions and stuff like that. And he certainly couldn't do it with my Patriots last year. So hope that things don't get that bad for you guys to where you got to call upon him. But having to depend on Sam Darnold for the full year, that's going to be very interesting. We'll see what he looks like with some weapons, though. But if Sam goes out there and Sam is still seeing ghosts, then that tells me, hey, like at this point, it's done. Because it's not going to get any better than that for him with the weapons that he's going to have this year. All right, so JB's working on the next thing I want to ask you guys. And so Mike, you missed a good question earlier that I asked, and so I had phrased the question earlier, Mike, in terms of who's the only quarterback throughout NFL history since the merger to lead two franchises. Again, they didn't have to win it, but to lead two franchises to a Super Bowl that are in the same division. So two franchises in the same division to a Super Bowl. All right, for the Bengals, first and 10, throws it high, gets the completion, takes to the 41-yard line. Okay. Second down coming up, a minute and 15 seconds to go. Cincinnati trying to respond here. They'd like to get some points, something positive to point to. So they're hurrying up, shotgun formation, looking, moving. Throws this one up there, incomplete. Incomplete. Let's see. Mike says the amazing Kurt Warner. And so, yes, RC says, now who runs faster, JB, Caleb or Justin Fields? And so I got to say, I don't know what Caleb's 40 time is, but I'd say Justin Fields. RC says, I'm glad Justin Fields is gone. Let's see. Mike says, Matt Corral over Sam Darnold any day of the week. All right, 3rd and 3. Throws it. Brought down at the 50. Why not try to recruit Tom Brady since Tom Brady's over there posting like he still wants to play? Why not try to recruit Tom Brady to go down to the Vikings? I mean, would he turn down an opportunity to play with a receiver like Justin Jefferson and stuff like that? But nah, Tom wouldn't do that. Yeah, see, SM says people hate the comparison, but Caleb is absolutely ahead of where Mahomes was at this point. RC says, what about Ryan Tannehill? And so I forget where in the world is Ryan Tannehill right now. Y'all got to remind me because I hadn't thought about that man in a hot minute. Almost forgot this man still exists. All right, let's see. All right, 10 seconds before we get to halftime. And let's see. Mike said, what did Brady say? Brady said he's still working out, Mike, because deep down he still wants to play. He still wants to play deep down. So that the urge hasn't left him. So he says he's still working out, staying in shape and stuff like that. So basically a conversation is what it sounds like. SM says Tannehill threw 4 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in 10 games last year. RC says Gus Farad and Trent Green. Good old Gus Farad and Trent Green. Ah, man, that's going back there. Gus Farad especially. Now, Trent Green, love Trent Green, especially when he's down there in Kansas City and stuff like that. And just, ah, man, that brings me back. You talk about a guy like Trent Green. I mean, now I'm thinking about a guy like Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson, all of those guys. And then I'm thinking Dante Hall, Eddie Kennison in the crew. Obviously, can't forget Tony Gonzalez. All right, but Cincinnati did get 3 points. They did get 3 points. So the score right now, Bears 10, Bengals 3. SM says Jake Plummer, Jeff Garcia. Let's not stop it there. Good old Rex Grossman. Can't forget the good old days of Rex Grossman's, your Kyle Ortons of the world. Not even going to mention Jay Cutler. Not going to do it. RC says Vinny Testaverde. Good old Vinny Testaverde. My man played until he was like, what, 44 years old? That's going back. That's going back. And good old Jeff Garcia. The whole San Francisco Jeff Garcia version, him, Terrell Owens during the time with the 49ers, Steve Mariucci head coaching. And then after that, Jeff Garcia went to the Browns first for a year before he went to the Lions, and then spent some time in Tampa Bay as well. RC says Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie had that drop kick for the Patriots. My man Doug Flutie, yes. You probably never see that again. Probably never see that again since Doug Flutie. Look at what country. All right, JB's just putting together a question here. All right, so JB has put his question up there. This one should be a little bit easier now. At least I think it should be easier. Maybe it's easier for me because I thought of the question. But what college produced two running backs drafted in the top five in the same draft? So it has to be the same draft. RC said, here's one, Joey Harrington. I mean, hey, how could you talk about the Detroit Lions and not talk about Joey Harrington with Oregon? And so, yes, I mean, Kyle Bowler, I remember Kyle Bowler with the Ravens and stuff like that. I mean, SM got it easy. He said easy, Auburn. And so, yeah, that question was way too easy there. So JB's got to think of a very, very difficult question there. All right, so it's all right, and he said Bama. Okay, RC says Jeff George. Good old Jeff George. The guy who can only throw to one side. Interesting. Amazing throwing the ball. Was for Jeff George, was it that he couldn't throw to his left side, I think? Or could he not throw to his right? I think he couldn't throw to his left side and stuff like that or something like that. He could only throw to his right, which whoo. SM says, LOL, my bad, JB. That was quick. Hey, that's the purpose there. That is the purpose. Yes, that is the purpose. Let's see. I'll try to think of something a little bit more complicated though. That I will. SM says Sam Bradford. And so good old Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford and Jamarcus Russell, they're both the biggest reasons why the NFL got away from just paying rookie quarterbacks that upwards of how much, I forget how much money Sam Bradford's rookie contract was. If anybody knows Sam Bradford's rookie contract and want to put that in the chat for JB, that'd appreciate that. But I know for Jamarcus Russell, my man had like 82 million was a part of his rookie deal. I think it was like 6 years, 82 million. And so teams said we got to get away from that. That's why we can now draft a quarterback on a cheap deal because those two guys messed up so badly and stuff like that, especially Jamarcus Russell and stuff like that, to where the NFL said we got to stop this. The system is broken and we can't allow this and stuff like that. Because back in the day, I mean, guys were getting paid. They were getting paid to be a rookie and stuff like that. So but now they got to play it out and actually show their worth before they get that money, which is a lot better, in terms of like as a fan and stuff like that. But they had it made back then. They had it made. RC says he missed watching Drew Brees play. And so, good old Drew Brees. I'll never forget when Drew Brees left the Chargers and like he actually went to the Saints and stuff that, and Miami had the chance to get Drew Brees, but they opted for Dante Culpepper. And again, I probably would have maybe made the same mistake because I mean Dante Culpepper at the time, I mean, that was Dante, that was Dante consistently getting the Vikings at least to the playoffs, usually as a wild card and stuff like that. But yeah, let's see. SM says that Bradford earned 130 million in his career. Talk about highway robbery and stuff like that. And so, but you know what? It wasn't just those quarterbacks. There was a time where the NFL was down bad and stuff like that. I remember when I was hyped up about Zach Mettenberger showing just a little bit of success down there with the Tennessee Titans and stuff like that because we had experienced guys like Jflocka and stuff like that that just didn't pan out. The EJ Manuels of the world and stuff like that. I mean, there was a time period where the NFL was desperate for some quarterbacks, some young quarterbacks to come in and just look decent. So these young kids, what they're doing now, game changers, like game changers. But back during that time period, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Those are some rough years. I remember the year that Geno Smith got drafted and stuff like that. Like just the lack of quarterbacks that there were in that draft class. All right, let's see how we're looking right now in the poll question. So we got 8 votes in, and so the Bears right now. Okay, so right now the poll is saying that we believe that the Chicago Bears will finish higher in the standings. That is what the poll is saying right now with these 8 votes. Again, it's not too late to cast your vote. Essom says, remember the infamous story of Raiders coaches sending Jamarcus blank CDs to study, like, yeah, blank films and stuff like that. And I also remember his teammates trying to bribe him with food to get him to watch the film and stuff like that. You talk about the clause that they tried to give Kyler Murray and stuff. Well, they did give it to him, but they reneged on that one. But man, that should have been implemented into Jamarcus Russell's thing, because my man over there not even watching film. And it showed. It showed. It showed. But tell me this. Does anybody remember Jamarcus Russell in college, like in terms of doing anything significant that really stood out, statistically speaking, at the collegiate level? Other than maybe just 1 or 2 games and stuff like that, but like, like the entire season, the body of work and stuff like that, like that's something that we can easily see on a Caleb Williams and stuff like that, a Pat Mahomes. You can see it throughout the body of the year. But for Jamarcus Russell, can we really say that that's what we saw? Those were some tough years. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. If I was a betting person, I probably would have lost the house. But I thought Darren McFadden coming from Arkansas, I thought he was going to light it up. Because you remember during that time period, this was right after the year that Adrian Peterson showed like he lit it up. And I thought, Darren McFadden was on the same wavelength a little bit at least, when it came to college and stuff like that. So I really thought Darren McFadden was going to end up being way better than he turned out being. RC says Jadoofus Russell. My man said, "Hey, I was making bank and stuff like that." Didn't Jamarcus Russell recently get fired from? I'm sorry, you can't fire a volunteer, but he got caught stealing the money that people were donating, and he was volunteering at his high school or something like that. Didn't Jamarcus Russell get in trouble a couple months ago for that? I don't want to say something that's not true, but I believe that was the case. If anybody can confirm that, because I believe it was Jamarcus Russell. If memory serves me right, it was Jamarcus Russell stealing the donations that were meant for the kids at his high school that he was supposed to be volunteering as a coach at. SM says Lane Kiffin wanted Calvin Johnson. And so good old Megatron. Now, how Georgia Tech gets those guys is beyond me because they don't use them. RC says Ryan Leaf. Yeah, that's a whole different story right there. A whole different story. And so RC says, JB, what about Henry Burris? You say, the worst I ever seen. That's a bold statement there. The worst ever seen. And we've seen some bad. Absolutely. We've seen some bad. I see that the Ravens and Falcons, they are late in the fourth quarter with Baltimore up 13-6. SM said, looked it up. You're right, JB. And so, okay, so yeah, so that was Jamarcus Russell. So memory did serve me right. And so that's a shame. Not only did you rob the Raiders of a good, I know you didn't finish out that thing, but at least a good 60 mil of that 82. You at least took that much and stuff. Like, I believe 60 was probably like guaranteed from that and stuff like that. And so you went out there and you tried to rob from the kids. And so, yes, he's being sued and stuff like that. And it wasn't a little bit of money. It wasn't a little bit of money. It was a lot of money he stole from the donations and stuff like that. I mean, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. That's just dumb. But yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, what? So yeah, it's crazy how things play out for some of these guys. $74,000. That's a lot of money, first of all, to be stealing from the kids and stuff like that. And you're a volunteer coach. You're a volunteer coach and stuff like that. I mean, what you doing? at that point. And so, Braden, Braden, what's good with you? Braden says, hey, JB. Braden. Oh, man. I know you're ready for fantasy. I know you're ready for fantasy football. I forgot the draft order in fantasy, but hopefully this year you're not too close to my team in terms of drafting and stuff like that, so that way you don't steal somebody who JB wants to take and stuff like that. That's not cool, but last year you had a tremendous season in fantasy, a tremendous season in fantasy. Wonder if you can replicate that. And so Braden said he came to spy on Caleb Williams to see what he's doing. And so, yeah, we all came for the Caleb show. Caleb was 6 of 13 for 75 yards passing in that first half. And we're about to get that third quarter on the way. Braden says, oh, you are? And so, well, joy to the world, Braden. Joy to the world. But again, be sure to cast your vote, guys, and let us know who you got finishing higher in the standings in their respective divisions. I think I know which way Braden's going to vote. I definitely know which way he's going to vote. No doubt about that. All right, but here we go in the return. And it's the Bengals. Tripped up at about the 22-yard line, but there is a flag. All right, your boy just thought of another question here, so I'll go ahead and take down this question. All right, so I'm gonna put up a new poll question for us for the second half. Uh, all right, so I'm gonna put up another poll question for you guys. All right, so JB is going to think hard about this one here. All right. All right, 2nd and 6 coming up here. Offensively for the Cincinnati Bengals, who find themselves trailing right now 10-3. And let's see. Mike says, shout out Ben DiNucci. And so, good old Ben, still hanging around. All right, let's see. And again, all of these guys in the peak of their prime for this poll question. So, with all three of these guys in the peak of their prime. All right, RC says, how long will he play today, JB? And so, honestly, I would have to think that since it's the second half, I'd have to say that he should be done. If he's not, then it should be soon. All right, but 3rd and 6. On the move, okay. And Woodside picks up that first. I think Woodside's going to play at least until, since they're still in, probably midway through the third, but it could be to the end, like closer to the end of that third quarter, but I definitely don't see them playing in the fourth quarter. There's just no need for that to happen. But there is a penalty. And let's see, Braden says, like Puka, the quote from last year. And so, oh man, that was, yeah, Puka put in work. He put in work last year. And so Mike says Mays looked good. And so he did. He did. I mean, I just wish that we gave him a little bit more help. But hey, the receivers got to stop dropping those balls. I'll just say, since it was rainy, I won't, blame the rookie too much. But the offensive line, ain't no excuse for that. That was a terrible offensive line that we had out there. SM says, shout out to Matt McLaurin. Good old Matt McLaurin. All right, so here we go. First and 10, shotgun formation. Quick pass. Caught by the receiver. And the receiver utilizing his blockers here. And he's going to pick up enough for the first down. So, way to move the chains there with the first down. All right, so we got 4 votes right now. 3 for Devin Hester. Again, Devin Hester, the only player in Madden that's ever had the 100 speed and stuff like that. And then Tyreek Hill. We know how fast the cheetah is, but right now Devin Hester leading the poll. Meanwhile, my guy Ted King Jr., I put you up there because, well, I probably set you up to fail, not going to lie. All right, but from their own 50, feeds it to the back, and he's going to pick up a yard on the play. And again, just to look over the stats real quick so far in this one. Logan Woodside, 16 of 23 for 131 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. He has been sacked once today. He also ran it one time for 7 yards. And then for Chicago, Caleb Williams is 6 of 13 for 75 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He's been sacked once so far today. He's also ran it one time for 7 yards as well. Then you look at the running backs here. Meanwhile, on 2nd and 9, shotgun. Just sending pressure. He throws it quickly, and it's incomplete. Just a little too high. Just a little too high. Let's see. Mike says he cocky and confident. Could be good. And so I agree. I agree. Confidence is very important. It's very important. It does translate. As him says, is Caleb playing the second half? And so looks like Caleb is over there in a shirt, so I assume his night's done. Yeah, his night's got to be done. So I think they're done with Caleb. They saw enough. He went out there, got the touchdown drive and stuff, so I think they're going to go ahead and pull him. Woodside has to continue to play simply because obviously he's not the starting quarter. Oh my goodness! He threw an interception. Oh my goodness! He gift wrapped it right to the DB. What is he doing? Wow. And that was Terrell Smith, number 32 for the Chicago Bears with the interception. And Woodside, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. But yeah, SM, I'd assume that it looks like Caleb's night should be done. Wow. So that turnover right there is now going to give it to the Chicago Bears here in the third quarter with 12 minutes and 16 seconds to go. SM says that Stinson better not throw 4 picks again, LOL. And if he does, there's a quarterback in New England. His name is Bailey Zappe. He's available, so you want him, you can have him. JB's going to be strongly advocating. I mean, sure, could you wait for us to cut him? You could, but then somebody else might get him. So go ahead, beat the hassle, get him now, save yourself another pick 4. It was almost 5 picks if it wasn't for the penalty calling it back on that 5th one and stuff like that. So, yeah. Let's see. RC says, JB, are you ready? Kyle Orton, the former Purdue Boilermaker himself. Kyle Orton. Again, Kyle Orton. Oh, man. I believe Kyle Orton took over after the failed Tim Tebow experiment. RC said Brady Quinn, and so no. No. No, 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 no. All Notre Dame quarterbacks, just a no. Whether it's Brady Quinn, whether it's Jimmy Clausen, no to all of them. Ian Book, I want no part of those Notre Dame quarterbacks. None of it. They just don't produce at the NFL level in terms of recent years, of course, recent years. Shoot, Derek Anderson, who started over Brady Quinn. One of the many people. Matt Leinart. Again, Matt Leinart is the perfect example of just because a quarterback won a lot in college doesn't mean that's going to translate. Esm says, bro, I still remember when I where I was when Tebow threw that touchdown to Demarius Thomas, rest in peace. And so yes, R.I.P. Demarius Thomas. But yes, I remember that one. That was against the Pittsburgh Steelers, correct? All right, so we got 2nd and 10 coming up. Let's see. RC says Notre Dame couldn't develop an NFL-ready quarterback if it was on NCAA football, the video game. 2nd and 10, looking, throws it, gets the completion. Okay, okay, we're starting to get some completion, starting to move the ball here. Okay, and that's Bacon in there. Esm says, yeah, it was. I was rooting against Denver, LOL, and so yeah, because I remember at that point in time, it was like, all right, I was like, the kid's getting a little bit too much hype right now. Tries to take on a contact there. Let's see. Braden says, other than Montana, has there been a great NFL quarterback to come out of Notre Dame? And so that, I mean, because Montana was the only one that I thought of and stuff like that. I mean, unless we're just going to go back to the dinosaur age and stuff like that. Meanwhile, feeds it to the back, picks up the first down, fresh into the downs to work with here in the third quarter with about 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go with the Bears up 10-3. Let's see. RC says, JB, you could turn all their sliders up to 99, and when they get to the NFL, they will still fail. That's harsh. That's harsh. But to answer your question, Braden, I don't think so. I can't think of one that actually panned out other than, of course, Joe Montana. All right, gets it to his tight end. This tight end is fighting for extra yards, picks up the first down. All right, again, 5 votes right now in the poll. All right, 2nd and 1. Gonna feed it to the running back. Okay. Got a 1st and goal situation here. Really? Braden says Ian Book was great. Yeah. Yeah. Sure he was. All right, 1st and goal. Runs it again. Got back to the line of scrimmage, but he's going nowhere. Let's see. He said, great at throwing interceptions. Let's see. RC says, Braden and JB, maybe if Notre Dame would join a real conference for a change, because we are not ushering, these are not our confessions here. You said for a change, they would maybe eventually produce an NFL-worthy quarterback. Play fake, bootleg, looking, incomplete. Let's see. Braden says, yeah, like the Big Ten RC. And so, if Notre Dame did join a conference, what conference would y'all want to see them join? I feel like it would either have to be the ACC, which is probably what they prefer because it's easier and they seem like the type of team that like to dodge teams, or either the Big Ten. All right, third and goal. Throws this one up there. That's going to be an easy touchdown. Easy touchdown. SM says Joe Theismann. You said you thought Jimmy Clausen was going to be good, to be honest. You really thought that. I didn't think that about Jimmy Clausen. Yeah, I did not think that about Jimmy Clausen. So how about that though for Chicago? Got a touchdown. Tyson Bagent there. He's 3 of 4 for 30 yards. Got a touchdown to his name now, so he's feeling good. And again, right now we are currently at the commercial here. And again, if you're just tuning in, Caleb Williams, he was 6 of 13 for 75 yards passing. His night is done. Enter Tyson Bagent there in the third quarter. He's 3 of 4 for 30 yards and a touchdown. But yeah, I've got no room to speak because I thought Matt Leinart was going to be great. I thought Vince Young was going to be good. And let's see, RC says that Jimmy Clausen had a perfect opportunity to be the Carolina Panthers' worldly savior, but he couldn't handle it. He couldn't embrace the franchise quarterback role. It is not our fault. SM says, I was a casual at the time. SM says, oh man, you said Matt Barkley too. And so good old Matt Barkley. Braden says, I thought Deshaun Kaiser was going to be good. Deshaun Kaiser, I did slick think had a chance to be good. I thought he had a chance to be good. And so JJ was good. JJ says, yo, JB, what's up? Just watching some good old preseason, you know? Nothing like some good old preseason. But yeah, JJ, I am well. All right, so we got a return. Brought down the 25-yard line. Again, third quarter with 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go, and the Bears up 17-3. And let's see. RC says, Braden, I thought that Sean Kaiser was going to be good too. JJ says, I'm probably staying this time. And so bet. But yeah, I mean, I did like some aspects of what I thought Kaiser was going to be able to bring, but terrible situation for him. terrible situation for him. I mean, it was a tough situation to enter, and a lot of times it's about just being in the right spot with the guys around you and stuff like that. That matters a lot. All right, so here we go. Second and 10, shotgun formation here. Three receivers, one tight end, one back, 5 seconds on the play clock. Under 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. All right, Woodside still in there. Throws it, gets the completion, and gets tripped up there. Shoestring tackle there. Picked up maybe a yard on the play. Third down coming up. So with third down coming up in 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and it is the Bears who lead 17-3 right now. So Cincinnati certainly got to find a way to convert. Let's see. JJ says, "Who do you want to win the Super Bowl, JB?" Well, I want the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. That's who I want to win the Super Bowl. Now, who I think's going to win it, who I want to win it, completely different things. Completely different things. But nah. All right, third and 10. Oh, man. No time whatsoever. Let's see, RC says, Seto Kaiba, salute. Yes. Seto says, well, JJ says, that's not happening. Come on, JJ, you asked the question saying, who do I want to see win the Super Bowl? That's who I want. Obviously, I want my team to win. But who will win it? I think we're going to get to see what we should have saw last year. We're going to get to see the Ravens versus the Detroit Lions. So that'll probably be my more realistic pick. RC says NFL trivia payback. He pulled out that Uno reverse card and he says, "Yo, JB in chat, who has the most fumbles in NFL history?" Let me go ahead and pin this one. Give the chat some time to respond as well. All right, so this brought to us by RC. He says, "Yo, JB in chat, who has the most fumbles in NFL history?" And so, oh man, if it's someone that's more recent, then I'm gonna just throw out the name because I know he had a fumbling issue and Adrian Peterson, but trying to think who's known for fumbling. Braden says the Chiefs versus Eagles is the Super Bowl prediction. Sadly, he says the rematch is bound to happen. It can't be avoided. It's gonna happen. RC says, I want Taylor Swift to win her second NFL trophy this season, JB. And so I'm sure she's got a work cut out for her, but Kansas City, obviously, they're going to be a contender, so we will see if they can actually get it done. And so let's see. JJ says, "Hey, Braden." SM says, Seahawks quarterback from the 80s. I forgot his name. Let's see. Let's see. Braden says, I looked it up. Well, at least Braden confessed that he cheated. That's a step up from anything that the Michigan Wolverines are willing to do. So I appreciate that, Braden. All right, let's see how we're looking right now on the poll question. All right, so it's 6 votes. We've got three for Devin Hester and three for Tyreek Hill. Surely we're not going to let them in a tie. RC says, Braden, you lie. That's why it's a quarterback that made his name known for y'all. Let's see. RC says, JB, you give it up. And so, I mean, if he played for the Packers and stuff like that, I mean, I'm trying to think. And you said a quarterback. So, did Brett Favre turn it over like that? And let's see. JJ says, Noah Lyles versus Tyreek Hill. Who do you got, JB? And chat, you said you got Tyreek. And so, well, I'll be rooting for Tyreek. I know that much. Meanwhile, nice strike there over the middle. Picks up the first down. Man, Chicago, they're trying to score again. And so Braden says no allows. And so I would begrudgingly take him. But yeah, so I'll take him too. Let's see. RC says Brett Favre, 166 fumbles, the all-time fumbles leader. To think that it's a quarterback. All right, second down coming up, second and 10. Let's see. SM says Dan Majorski. RC says that's what happens when you play forever, I guess. And so, I mean, yeah, longevity does hurt. It hurts when you have like when you're the career leader in interceptions because you just played a super long time and stuff like that. So, ooh, going deep, and that's a touchdown. Oh my goodness! And the Bears, they just won't stop scoring. RC says Carson Palmer. Braden says, yeah, I thought it was a running back. And so let's see. JJ says, JB, actually, how late am I? And so, oh man, ah man, we're here in the third quarter, about 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go. So you missed some portion. You missed the portion. SM says he thought it was Dave Craig. Craig. RC says 34 to 3. Is that what you're projecting the final score to be? Because it's 24 to 3 right now. 24 to 3. Let's see. JJ says, I definitely know who these players are. Okay, okay. Being well versed. RC says Jim Miller, Mark Brunell. Good old Mark Brunell. A guy that's not talked about much. But his contributions to both the Den Redskins and the Jacksonville Jaguars, Mark Brunell is a solid starter. All right. Let's see. Brandon says he was also with the Packers. And so, yes, yes, yes. That's going back to that way back when, way back when. RC says, who was the Kansas City Chiefs starting quarterback before Patrick Mahomes arrived? That would be Alex Smith. Alex Smith was that quarterback. He was that guy. He was an upgrade from the days where Kansas City started guys like Brody Croyle and stuff like that. An upgrade from guys like that. Let's see, JJ says, JB, I am going to win the trophy in fantasy football this year for sure, and you're going through everyone. SM says Rob Johnson from the Bills, and so, oh man, we're bringing some people back. Well, shoot, Tommy Maddox from the Pittsburgh Steelers prior to Big Ben being there. Good old Tommy Maddox. Jay Fiedler for the Dolphins. AJ Feely for the Dolphins. We got some guys. JP Lossman for the Bills. Drew Bledsoe, Patriots and Bills and Cowboys. Jeff Blake, Cardinals before Eagles as a backup to Donovan McNabb. All right, so the return here by the Bengals, who find themselves trailing 24-3, takes it to the 33. JJ says JB said Brady. Let's see. RC says JB, you aced that question without thought. And so yes, let's see. RC says, I think JB is a closet Chiefs fan. JB got some Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't that long ago. I feel like it was just yesterday where Patrick Mahomes was sitting behind Alex Smith and stuff like that. So that was like a very, very easy question there. SM says, I remember when Alex Smith was considered a bust. I remember that too back there in San Francisco. And I also remember when San Francisco pivoted away from Aaron Rodgers, because at the beginning of the draft, Aaron Rodgers was atop the board. But I guess you know how executives get. They didn't like his personality and stuff like that. It was something about Aaron Rodgers that rubbed teams kind of the wrong way. And then they started pivoting towards Alex Smith with that first pick. And then, hey, Alex Smith, it may not have worked out the way that the 49ers intended early on before, Jim Harbaugh got there and they started to get things going before Colin Kaepernick took over for his job and stuff like that. But it was some good times towards the end. Yeah, good career, but that injury though, like that leg injury, he about lost that leg. I mean, you look at an image of it today and it's still messed up. All right, but here we go. First and 15 from their own 10-yard line. Receiver goes in motion here for the Cincinnati Bengals. They got one back in the backfield. They're going to feed it to the back in the back off the left side. Look at them go. Still going all the way to the 21-yard line. Okay, second down coming up. Let's go. And this is Rocky Lombardi back there, quarterback in here. Man, we're down there on the depth chart. RC says Achilles Smith, the former third overall pick by the Cincinnati Bengals way back in the day. But Bengal fans don't want to hear about that no more. They don't want to hear about that. They rather talk about some of their other first round picks and stuff like that. Or perhaps the guy who started before Carson Palmer and John Kidna and stuff like that. They rather talk about him than talk about Achilles Smith. What? Achilles Smith, I forget what team he started for with NFL Europe and stuff like that. But yeah. You never want to say that the third overall pick had to start for NFL Europe back when it did exist and stuff like that. Teams like the Galaxies, I enjoyed the Galaxies. Because like Rohan Davey for the Patriots used to play, I believe, with the Frankfurt Galaxies back then. So I would watch NFL Europe and watch him play since he was the backup quarterback above Cliff Kingsbury with the Patriots back then behind Tom Brady, obviously, during that time frame. Third and 3. Throws it, gets the completion, got the first down, picked up 4 yards there. Excellent job. All right, let's see. JJ says 24-10 in the fourth quarter. Bengals are going to come back. He says the Bengals are going to come back. That would make it interesting. And JJ predictions are hardly ever wrong. Hardly ever wrong. So if JJ says it, believe it. All right, here we go. Quarterback up under center, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 back in the backfield. Play fake, bootlegging, Lombardi for the run. Lombardi slides there about, 3 yards shy of that first down marker. RC says Cordell Stewart. Yes. Anthony Wright. All those guys. David Carr. SM says Kurt Warner played in NFL Europe. And Braden says Smith's son is with Oregon right now. He's their backup quarterback, I think. Oh, wow. I did not know that. I appreciate that. I did not know that. Second and 4. Gives it to the back off the left side. Takes it to the 40-yard line. Can't believe nobody said Tony Romo yet. Aaron Brooks, yes, the cousin of Michael Vick. Yes, good old Aaron Brooks. Started with the Saints throughout most of his career. Jason Campbell. That's right. We talked about the two running backs from Auburn, but Campbell was the quarterback that was selected later on in that first round pick from Auburn that the Washington Redskins at the time selected. RC says Robert Mathis and Bob Sanders, JB. And so, yes, very familiar with those guys because Pop Brown, his favorite team is the Colts. And so, yes, cannot forget the right Freeney with that squad and stuff like that. But yes, that defense. They had picked up Anthony McFarland for 1 year. I remember Kato June back there at linebacker. Um, Bunch of guys. Nick Harper back there in the secondary before they drafted. What was that guy from the University of Michigan? It was Marlon something. Marlon something. I can't remember his name. But yes, good old John Kidner. What about Quincy Carter? Good old Quincy Carter. What about Drew Henson? Let's see, but yeah, prime Josh Norman. There was nothing like back in the day watching those Carolina Panthers during training camp, especially, and then seeing Cam Newton go back and forth with Josh Norman and stuff like that. And it's like, bruh, you guys are on the same team. Get it together. What is most interesting, though, about that Indianapolis team, RC, is that Edgerrin James had just left Indianapolis to go to Arizona because he figured that they was not going to compete for a Super Bowl. And then Joseph Adai's rookie year coming out of LSU, the Colts do win a Super Bowl, but obviously Edgerrin James does not get the Super Bowl ring there. And then Edgerrin James goes to the Cardinals, and Kurt Warner's there, leads them to the Super Bowl, but does not get the Super Bowl ring with the Cardinals and stuff like that. So, but at least he got to a Super Bowl, but didn't win it. All right, fourth quarter, guys, the final quarter. Cincinnati feeds it to the back off the right side there, picks up about 3 yards on the play. All right, 2nd and 7. You can see the rain out there. Can Cincinnati make it rain some points right now? That's what I want to know. Shotgun, trips the bottom of the formation. Tight end goes in motion from their own 43-yard line. Lombardi pitches it forward to the tight end. The tight end, look at him rumble to the 45-yard line before he gets pushed out of bounds there. And a good old Tanner with the catch. All right, I'll end the poll there. and I'll put up another poll question. All right, let's see. RC says, JB, there's a YouTuber streamer streaming, and he will not properly start his live stream until he gets at least $50 in his Cash App and at least 10 super chats. The diva of all YouTube streamers? That's insane. I mean, that's insane. Like, you're not gonna go live until you get that, so we gotta pay you to see you? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's that's insane. That's insane. All right, so I'm gonna ask who had the better career. I'm gonna include a couple of my favorite players in this conversation. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna include these two guys for now. Hmm. Trying to think of a third guy I want to add to this to make it interesting. Some said Albert Hainsworth. Good old, hey, Albert got paid, but Albert said, y'all not finna make me a nose tackle. Y'all not finna do that. He said, that's what y'all not finna do. All right, I'll add one more to it then. Trying to think. Sure. This might ruin it, but let's see. All right, random quarterbacks thrown up there, but yeah. And again, ignore the who. I meant to put Rich one. Which quarterback had the better um, career? So, and I put a couple options out there. Who had the better career? So, Rich Gannon, one of my personal favorites. Kerry Collins, who had a strong time at Tennessee. If you remember his time with the Tennessee Titans, when he took over for Vince Young, he did lead Tennessee to a 13-3 season, I believe, him and CJ2K and stuff like that. So he did put together a good season. And I feel like Chad Pennington consistency rise was pretty consistent. He did have his ups and stuff like that, but we'll see how this one goes. But you guys go ahead and cast your votes. All right, hands it to the back. All right, gonna pick up about 3 yards on the play. RC says Gary Kittles. And let's see, RC says JB, no, he will go live, but he won't start chopping it up with the audience until they engage with money transaction. Oh, that's in some ways that's even worse and stuff like that. I mean, wow. So you got to pay for engagement, basically. Pay for a response. 2nd and 7. And Bacon's going to keep it on the left side there. Picked up the first down before he slid there. Took it to the 36-yard line. My guy out here making it do what it do with 12 minutes and 54 seconds to go. The Bears are leading 24-3, but you think they have enough points? No, they want more. They want more. Cincinnati just wants this game to be over. Play fake, bootlegging, throws it short, brought down, and that was Sweeney with the catch. All right, 2nd and 10. Quarterback up under center. Feeds it to the back. Uh-oh. He's met in the backfield. He lost a lot of yards on that play, probably about 4 or 5 yards. And that rain is pouring down heavily. 11 minutes and 42 seconds to go. JB still wants to see about 2 more touchdowns. All right, 3rd and 15. 5 seconds on the play clock. Throws it short. Caught by the back. And the back trying to use his speed there, get what he can. Excellent job there. You at least give yourself an opportunity there for a field goal. Let's see. JJ says, JB, I started my fantasy team last month and got Burrow, JJ, and Diggs. And so you guys had your draft this earlier. You said also Elliott. And so, wow. The reason I wait on my fantasy drafts is because I'm afraid somebody's going to get injured in the preseason or something like that, or get traded or something like that. So I tend to wait. But hey, how are you feeling about your team? You feel like you had the best draft? Did they give you a draft grade? All right, a 51-yard field goal attempt. I feel like I am way behind right now. Kick is up. The kick is good. 27-3 here in the fourth quarter with 10 minutes and 17 seconds to go. All right, so feeling good about your team. Oh yeah, it's about that time. I can't believe it. Like basically, it's not that long until we actually have some college football. Meanwhile, I'm looking right now. All right, so yeah, so exactly a week from today is when I will be streaming that Florida State and Georgia Tech game. So yeah, Jonas, good old the one gamer. Jonah, you SM, you dig deep in the depth chart for that one. Like you pull that one out. Like that's like me pulling out something like, shoot, I'm trying to think. Like what would be equivalent to pulling out Jonas Gray? Now Indianapolis probably hates to hear that, but wow, you dig deep in that depth chart there. I am not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. Shoot, Hank Petit. I remember him in the secondary for the Patriots a couple times. Good old Rod Smith. And shoot, what about Rod Smart? That's right, Rod Smart, the guy known in the XFL as He Hate Me and stuff like that. Well, former XFL back then. But yeah, he spent some time with the Carolina Panthers returning kicks and stuff like that. So yeah, good old Rod Smart, XFL star. All right, so lined up for the kickoff, returning from the 5. Brought down at about the 18-yard line. Let's see. JJ says UGA, let's go. Let's go, dogs. Okay, bet. But yeah, looking at Saturday's matchup, next week. That's what I will be live streaming during that time. All right, so tomorrow, let's see. All right, so Bengals with the football again. They're trailing 27 to 3. Play fake. Throws it. Oh, doinked off his hand. It just doinked off his hand there. Incomplete. Bengals just obviously we know no Joe Burrow, no Jamar Chase, all of that stuff. Let's see, JJ says, I think the league said that I'm projected to win every game by at least 120 points here, JJ. Really? Every game by 120? And again, tomorrow we will be live streaming for the Saints and 49ers for some Sunday night football in that one. That's right, the Saints and the 49ers. All right, feeds it to the back. So we'll get to see some of Spencer Rattler at some point. What about Billy Volick? Billy Volick, the guy that took over for Tennessee right after Steve McNair. All right, 3rd and 10. Shotgun. Throws it. Completed. Can he get the first? He does get the first. Takes it to his own 30-yard line. JJ says, me and two others. You said because you have the best players in the league. And how many teams are in that league again? 9 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. I see Baltimore beat Atlanta 13-12 in that matchup. Feeds it to the running back who's going to pick up 2 yards on the play. Let's see, JJ says 10 or 11. And so, okay. How many teams make the playoffs? Is it like four or is it just like all? How's that set up? All right, 2nd and 8. Shotgun here. Bears sending pressure. Overthrew his receiver, his running back there. Incomplete. Almost picked off there, but incomplete. Let's see. JJ says, I'm always going to have JJJB. And so, oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. I just know that you wish that you had the JJ to JJ combo working for the regular season as opposed to Sam Darnold. Sam, hey, Arnold Darnold back there trying to throw the ball. You say top seven, you think? Okay, so top seven, so one team gets a bye and the other six. Okay. And Tyson Bagent for Chicago came in, looked great. 7 to 8 for 87 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That has to make you feel very comfortable to have him as a backup quarterback. And right now, my guy Rich Gannon leading the poll by 1 vote. All right, 3rd and 12. Throws it short, completed. And he's going to be about 3 yards shy of that first down marker. And so, yeah, JJ says, oh, so you do have JJ McCarthy. That's what I was talking about. You end up drafting a guy that ends up being hurt. Sucks he got injured. And so, yes, it does. Very devastating. Very devastating, you know. It would have been nice to see him out there this season and get that rookie year out the way and just see what he had, honestly. Very tough break. And now you've got to deal with Sam Darnold. Whew. But again, fourth quarter here with 7 minutes and 14 seconds left to go with the Bears on top 27-3, and they're looking to advance to 3-0 in the preseason. The Bears are taking this serious. Wait, did Daniel Jones throw a pick six? Oh boy, Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones. Let's see. All right, so JJ says, at least I don't have Sam Darnold. Well, he's the guy that has to throw it to JJ, but JJ has shown he can go out there and do work with anybody back there at quarterback. And you guys still have Nick Mullen, right? Or no? I forgot if you guys have Nick Mullen or not. And so you say you got Joe Cool. Okay, nice. That's a good combination there. And you say, damn. And so yeah, I mean, I see because I was looking at in the Zoe's post on IG, and I see he was talking about Daniel Jones threw a pick six, and I was like, oh man. I'm like, this game's still going on, isn't it? I'm like, man, how bad can one be? All right, getting ready to come back from the commercial here. All right, so the player of the game, Kyler Gordon, number six, the DB. He's got 4 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 tackles for a loss. Bears right now with the football. Gonna give it to the back. Are they thinking more points? I'm sure that's what's on the brain here. They want to score more points. All right, let's see. 2nd and 6. I do want to see one more touchdown. It would be nice. Play fake, looking. Throws it short. Gets the completion. 6 minutes and 32 seconds to go here in the fourth. And again, Rypien in there. And so we saw Rypien, last week. He looked great. Bears have got to be happy where they find themselves right now at the quarterback position right now. They have got to feel very good about that. Running the ball. Oh, he's not going to be able to fight for it and get that first. That's one play you got to make. Fourth down coming up. I said go for it. Roll that dice. Go for it. I know it's 27-3. Go for it. That's what you do. It's just what you do. Again, that was Ian Wheeler on the carry there. All right, so 4th and 1, got the punt unit out there. Punt's on the way. And the punt is gonna. Oh, did he down it there at the 1? Is it down at the 1? Wow. Excellent. Excellent job. Oh, they're gonna call it a touchback? Oh, come on now. Let's see that replay. Let's see. Braden says Bear fans are happy right now, and so yeah, they are, Braden. They're very happy. They're screaming, "We want Packers." They're like, "We want love. We want love. No love for love." I'll tell you who's not happy right now. My team. We're not happy, Braden. We are not happy. That offensive line is atrocious right now. What kind of play was that? That was, it had to be a flag. Again, 5 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in the 4th. JJ says JV is never going to be happy. That's very depressing right there, JJ. We might surprise even ourselves, right? That's why you play the games, right? 5 minutes to go in the 4th, in the final quarter of the game here in the 4th. Bears up 27-3. Bengals with the football facing a 2nd and 6. Quarterback up under center. Play fake. Throws it. Incomplete. 3rd down coming up. 4 minutes and 29 seconds left to go. JJ says, you guys have a lot of stuff to fix. You're not lying. You're not lying. You're not lying. And it starts with that offensive line. It starts with that offensive line. You say O line, D line, safety, wide receiver, tight end, running back. All right, 3rd and 6. Throws it. You don't like Ramondre Stevenson? Him and Gibson, you don't like those two? I thought we were solid at tight end, solid at running back, and I thought we had a good safety room. Only thing we need is the O line, and unfortunately for our D line, with Christian Bazemore being hurt, I mean that's hurt. That hurts. That hurts. But I agree. We need a number 1 wide receiver. Let's see. Definitely O-line, without question. Of the things you mentioned, I just need to see that offensive line fixed and then get a number one receiver. The defense is solid. JJ says forever. JJ. I don't understand your dislike towards my team. We're not even rivals with the Vikings. I don't understand. All right, 4 minutes and 14 seconds left to go. Tight end on the move, got a fullback back in the backfield. Play fake, throws it. Oh, what a catch! To the 39-yard line. How about that? With 4 minutes and 4 seconds left to go. And the Bears, they're still thinking about scoring. Braden says, who's the best offensive lineman? It would probably have to be our center, David Andrews. It'd have to be the center. It would have to be him. All right, 1st and 10. Gives it to the back. You said get Devin White. And so Devin White, if we were a team that's already a playoff team, sure, and stuff like that. But what we need is offense. Our defense is actually not bad and stuff like that. Even last year, it's just the offense was that bad and stuff like that. So we have to improve the offense, and it starts with the offensive line. Now that we drafted a quarterback, that's great. We need to work on the offensive line, and 4 of those 5 guys need to be replaced. And I think Cole Strange is out for the year or something like that, or at least a long time. I forget what it is, but we got some holes in that offensive line, and it's bad. We're not going to be able to do anything behind that offensive line. Oh, what an excellent push. Speaking of offensive line, it's the Bears offensive line there with the push. 3rd down coming up. All right, so let's see. SM says, I got a good question. Who's a coach you thought was going to be good but ended up being bad? And so a coach I thought was going to be good that ended up being bad, I am going to have to say, let's see. I am going to have to say, that's a good question. That's a good question, SM. A coach I thought was going to be good but ended up being bad. Because normally, if I thought a coach was going to be good, it's probably some bias, or either I've seen that he was already good before. I would have to say, you say at least the defense was ranked 17. I would have to say that perhaps now I'm racking my brain here. Let's see, who was that coach that you said actually no, the Panthers were ranked 32? Well, I appreciate that correction there, JJ. But man, Panthers must have been bad. I mean, Frank Reich keeps jumping to mind and stuff like that, like in terms of recent coaches and stuff. Oh, Matt Rule. I mean, if we're gonna take the college route, then I guess I could say when the Raiders first hired Lane Kiffin. Unfortunately, Lane Kiffin got a bad deal having Jamarcus Russell, but I thought he'd be good. Heck, I thought that for a lot of college coaches that came through. Let's see, JJ says JB needs to get some pizza and some Coke and take a good nap. And so I woke up early after sleeping about 4 or 5 hours and stuff like that. So I can go to the gym so I could work out before my stream because I knew I was not going to have the energy after the stream and stuff like that. So I have not eaten yet today and stuff like that. And I am definitely tired and stuff like that. So he said maybe have a party. Every day is a party, JJ. Every day is a party. All right, but the 2-minute warning, and the Bears, they're knocking on the goal line, guys. Like they can score again. JJ says, especially for you. Are you already celebrating your fantasy championship that's to come later on? JJ says he parties a lot. Braden says, gotta go, JB. Great stream. See ya. Appreciate you coming through, Braden. You take care and see you next time. Again, JB will be streaming again tomorrow night. It's gonna be the Saints game that are gonna be streaming. The Saints versus, I forget who the Saints are playing tomorrow. Saints versus 49ers. That's right. Saints and 49ers. But yes, take care, Braden. All right. And I guess we'll declare this poll. Rich Gannon wins the poll. All right, so let's see. JJ says, I'm going Saints, maybe. Maybe. And so, I mean, I'm definitely going to be cheering for Spencer Rattler to have a good game. That's for sure. All right, so the Bears decide that they're going to go ahead and take a couple knees here. I was really hoping that they'd go for the touchdown, to be honest. All right, so yeah, they're taking knees to run out this clock. And that's going to be the final score there with the Bears, up 27-3. Couple more nails downs here. But Chicago has got to be feeling really good about what they've seen so far in the preseason. All right, but yes, so JB is going to go ahead and end this one, but I want to thank you guys so much for coming through. It's been real, it's been great. And although the game wasn't really that close there, we did see a lot of good moments there. And as for Chicago, got to be feeling good. And if you're Cincinnati, you always remember this is just the preseason, and obviously you didn't have your main guys out there. So, but yes, definitely feels good there if you are with the Bears. And so, SM says Eric Mangini, the guy that snitched on the Patriots. And so I will not forget that. And so let's see. JJ says, bro, this is a boring game more than the Warriors and Celtics. Lenny says, what time am I streaming tomorrow? I am streaming tomorrow at, it's going to be 8 o'clock Eastern time. That's what time the Saints and the 49ers start, 8 o'clock Eastern time. So it's going to be a later game tomorrow between the Saints and the 49ers. Again, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And so let's see. SM says, great stream, JB. I appreciate it. JJ says, see ya, JB. See you tomorrow or in another 4 months. Either way, see you next time, JJ. You take care. Everybody take care. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Enjoy the rest of the Saturday. There's a lot of football to be played today. So make sure you take the time to enjoy it. And I will see you guys tomorrow.